So I recently visited a couple of different pubs to compare the prices of what you'd pay for one of our most popular products, which is Thatcher's Gold. The cheapest price that I could find in the local city centre was £3.65. Yeah, the most expensive, £6.50. It's a big difference between the two. But why exactly is that? Okay, firstly, let's talk about the running costs of a pub. This is going to vary massively pub to pub, whether they pay rent or they pay a mortgage. Maybe they don't pay either. Maybe the building's already paid off. Gas, electric, the business rates, massive talking point at the moment is the business rates. The staffing level, is it just a landlord behind the bar? Or have they got multiple staff on that are being paid an hourly rate? And then also those atmosphere builders. Does it have background music, Sky TV, live music on a Friday night? All these things are obviously going to depend on the actual price you pay for a pint. Okay, second on the list, we've got the type of pub. Again, this is going to vary pub to pub. There's so many different pubs out there. But your spit and sawdust, wet-only pubs are going to be normally the cheapest that you're going to find a pint in. Compare that to a country pub that specialises in high-end food. That's going to be probably where you're going to get your most expensive pint. Next up on the list, we've got location. If you're a town centre or city centre pub, you've normally got a high footfall, which means people can pop in, pop out. Some people will stay all day. It's going to massively affect how many pints you can physically sell. That in turn affects the cost. The counter argument to that is your local country pub. Maybe there's only a few houses around the pub, so most people there will be popping in for one drink because they're normally driving. Also, what about tourist areas? Places like central London, you're going to expect to pay a lot higher premium on a pint compared to somewhere, let's say, like Blackpool, where for 6 weeks of the year it's going to be busy, the rest of the year it's going to be quiet, with a lot of people looking to places like Blackpool to go for a cheap holiday. And normally there's a lot of pubs that facilitate that. Okay, next up on the list, buying power. Massive thing, buying power. This is going to depend pub to pub, of course. So big chains, big pub companies, they can obviously buy their beer in large quantities. So they can normally get a better price for their beer. Small independent three houses, again, they can pick and choose who they want to go and buy their products from, which is going to vary the cost massively. And then you've also got the Tide pub, the Tide pub model. If you don't know more about the Tide pub model, basically it means that depending on the deal that you've got with the pub company that owns your pub, they will fix the price. So they will say, this barrel will cost you X amount. You can't go and buy from another provider, and therefore that price is fixed. And it could be as much as double the cost of a barrel that you could get from a wholesaler. And the last one is the strategy of the actual pub, or the pub company that owns it. Places like Wetherspoons, Amber Taverns, and Craft Union, they will traditionally charge a lot cheaper or put an offer on drinks to try and attract new customers and retain the customers they've got already. That in turn means they can sell high volumes and therefore they can charge a lot less for their product. The flip side of that is that's why you don't see the likes of Wetherspoons buying country pubs in the middle of nowhere, regardless of the size, purely because they need those high footfall areas to make those sorts of places work. And then the flip side of that is you might find sub-pub companies, or even some pubs, might charge more of a premium. And that's because they've tried to make the place look really nice and they want that vibe of it being a really, really cool place to drink. And therefore, they feel they're entitled to charge a premium for their product. I'm not saying that's the reason why one pint, the pint that I paid for, was £6.50, however, but that may be one of the reasons why they've decided to charge £6.50 for a pint. So hopefully this short video gives you a bit of an understanding about why different pubs charge different prices for different drinks. And hopefully I'll see you in a future video. Like and subscribe for more content.